Hello guys, this is MP Moloplastic. Today I'm going to do a video of tutorials with some techniques and tips for airbrushing I'm use. I'm going to show you how to make the ratio of solutions the way I do, and I'm cleaning the airbrush in the end, and the most important thing to set up the pressure in psi in the airbrushing. Now I have here my airbrush. A very important tip I'm going to use is using a filter to trap the moisture of the humidity use and between the airbrush and the flux of the air. Sorry. Then another one I'm going to show you. I have here my compressor. You see here. You see it have here a little filter. This is with airbrushing. You can see here to trap the moisture. Okay. This is one of the important things to do in airbrush. Okay. Two filters, one from the outside of compression and another one between the airbrush. The first tip I'm going to say to you guys is the technique to set up the compressor. Sorry, it's very important to set up because it's a difference you are going to see between the compressor. I'm going to put here some light. Sorry, I'm going to take the camera for you guys see the compression work. I'm going to take here the camera for you guys see better. Sorry. Now you see the pressure of compressor. Sorry. You see the pressure here. Now I'm going to turn on. Sorry for the noise. And one tip, very important, is to set up the compressor. In this case, it's about 20 psi, you can see. But if I push the trigger, you are going to see. If I push the trigger with my finger, you are going to see it's going down about 0.5 of pressure. Just see, I'm going to push, okay? You see, it's all about 0.5, okay? What we are going to do, we are going to just a minute, I'm going to put the camera for you guys to see better. Sorry for the noise because the compression it's on my table. I'm going to put here now the camera for you guys to see better. And now you are going to see the pressure is going to down, okay? Then what we are doing, we are going to press the finger in pressure, and with the regulator we just push up, and then we are going to put more pressure, just about 20 psi. You see, now we just lock, take off, and you see the difference. The pressure rise up at about 30 psi, and if you pressure, you're going to do about 20. You see the difference? It's about 0.5. This is how we set up the pressure, okay? You see, I press the trigger is going to 20 psi. I take my finger and go into 30 psi. This is the difference. This is how we set up the correct pressure, because it's a difference between the airbrush and the output of the pressure and the inside with the airbrush. Okay, now it's correct. It's 20 psi because we press and push, press and push. It's 20. It's we release going to 30. This is how we set up the compressor. Okay, guys. Sorry for the noise because I must put the compressor nearby the camera and make some noise. Okay. Now I'm going to do. I'm taking my camera down. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to feed the paint the way I do. The compressor is now in 20 psi. Normally I work with 20-25 psi. It's my pressure, but we can do 15-18 psi with low pressure. But we must thin the paint between the pressures. If you have more pressure, you can put the thin more strong. If you use a low pressure, you can dilute more. You must dilute the paint. Now I'm going to show you. I have here a little color of paint. I'm going to mix with my mix I create. You have in another video. Just about a little bit to check the paint. Okay. Normally I use a little cup to dilute the paint, then put inside of the airbrushing. But in this case, we can, for more rapid, you can do the dilution direct to the cup. But a tip very important: always put first the thinner. In this case, these are acrylic water based. You can put water. I use distilled water because it's better and don't create fraction in paint, because it's a neutral and treat the water. I have here my solution. I have some I use for the acrylics in my solution distilled water and a little bit of glycerin, some drops, to break the tension of the paints. For this, in this case, we must put, for example, we can do a 50-50 mix. I'll do it. I'm posted. I'm making some video with some techniques and how to set up the and diluting the paints for airbrushing. Now I am saying we are going to put a 50-50 mix. In this case, 5 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops of water. And you can put now 5 drops of paint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have a mixture of 50-50, 5 drops of paint. You just make some retro. You can do to diluting, or you can put a brush or some with a screw. You can dilute the paint. Okay. Just put here some paper. Sorry, maybe I forgot. Put here some paper. Now you are going to see. I'm going to airbrush. This is a needle 0.5. It's very large, so you can see better. I'm going to use the technique without protection with the nozzle for you guys see the difference. Okay. Now I'm going to turn the compression. It's about 25 because I just do the setup. Yes, Lee, it's a different technique. I'm showing the different way. Okay, you can do many ways. In the boat, in this case, like you say, mix. You can put in the couple like I do, then put in the other. It depends the amount of paint you are going to use. Okay. For this case, you are going to see without the protection nozzle, you can do some fine work. I'm going to push. You want to see? I approximate just a little bit. And just take a little bit of paint to see the dilution. Okay. Now you are going to see you can do very fine. Just approximate. You can see without the protection nozzle, you control the amount of paint. Okay. Now this is about 20 psi. It's a little bit strong. The mix is 50-50, and you see it makes some very thin traces. You can see here, but I'm going to reduce the pressure, and you are going to see the difference. Okay. Now I'm going to put the pressure. I just explained. Put the setup. Now I'm going to reduce to 15 psi. Okay. I just regulate the compression, and now it's 15 psi, and you are going to see the difference. The control is more easier. You put the pressure. Now you see, and you can do more thin. But because this is a game with the paint. You can see it's more difficult because the paint it's 50-50. It's not the ideal diluting for the for this pressure. It must be more dilute, okay? But we can paint with this pressure, okay? Oh, you can see. Then you approximate and do some things, okay? Now we are going to put another the pressure the about 20 psi. Okay. Just a minute. And you are going to see the difference. With 20 psi, it's one with no problem. You see? Because it's more pressure, we can do fine lines, okay? Because it's have more pressure. You can see. Now we are going to clean here the nozzle. Just a minute, please. What I have here, my dogs. And this is a needle 0.5, okay, guys? Look, I just very important. This the setup. I just say in the initial of the video is very important. The setup and about mixing, comparing to mixing the paints in 50-50, 30%, 70%. More diluting the paint, you need low pressure. More thick is the paint, you need more pressure to project. In this case, it's 50-50. It's about the paint, and you can spray with no problem. You see, I'm using without protection in the nozzle. You can do some fine lines, some more deep lines with no problem. Okay, guys. And if you dilute more the paint, for example, I'm going to put here more water. I have 5 drops. In this case, I'm going to put 10 drops. Open 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this case, it's more diluted, the painting. Okay, I'm going to mix a little bit, and you are going to see the difference. More diluted paint. In this case, I have 10 drops of water and 5 drops of paint, and you are going to see the difference. You see, with 20 psi, it creates. I'll just clean here. Okay, now you see the difference. It's more diluting, but it creates more overspray. Okay, what we are going to do, we just regulate the pressure. For example, just you put the trigger on, and then you slow down the pressure for about 15 psi. Okay, now it's correct, and you are going to see the difference with 15 psi, more diluted paint, and you can do a better work. Okay, now see the control of the paint, it's better. You can do very fine lines. And now you see the difference. I just say you see the difference with very good control, with low pressure, 15 psi, but more diluted in the paint. Okay, 10 drops of water, 5 drops. It's a very different dilution. Okay, this is the way I do. Okay, guys, this is a tip. And now I'm going to show you. I'm going to take off the paint. Okay. Just put here some paper to clean. And take the excess of the paint out. Okay. Now I'm going to use, for example, a dilution of 30% of paint. In this case, I'm going to put 7 drops of water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drops in a dilution of 10 milliliters, and just put 3 drops of paint. Okay, 1, 2, 3. The psi is 15%. I'm going to do. I'm doing just a little bit of retro to mix the paint. Okay, and without the nozzle protection for more precision, you are going to see the difference with 15 psi. You can take a little bit out, then just clean, and you are going to see the precision. I'm going to show you here. So to turn on for you guys see better, and I'm going to see the different, the very fine lines I can do. Okay, just put here, and you see with 15 pressure, with no problem, you can paint very, very fine lines. Okay, with more pressure, it's going to more deep. You approximate the nozzle with careful because of the needle, and this is a 0.5 needle, very large, but you can see you can do very fine work. Okay, you see very fine lines. Okay. Hi Jason, how you doing? I'm doing some video with some techniques how to thin the paint for airbrushing and to set up the correct pressure to do the airbrush. And now you can see if I'm doing more large lines, all about 15 psi. It's a very low pressure, and you can see it's about 30% of paint. In this case, three drops of paint and 7 drops of water in a dilution of 10 milliliters. And you can do it's very good without we it's a 0.5 needle, very large, and you can see with a very large needle you can do very fine work. Just approximate, and you see very fine lines. And we increase the pressure, you're going to do more large. You see here, I'm going to show you. You see the digression of the paint, more thinner, then more large. Yes, Susan, yes. Because for me the most important is to set up, like I show in the beginning of the video. You can see the most important here. You can see I don't I'm without the protection of the nozzle. You can see I'm just trying to focus. Sorry. You can see the needle. Okay, this is a 0.5 needle. This is very large, but you can see it works with no problem because they are needles 0.2, 0.3. They are very good for precision work, but they create some here residual in the point, and the 0.5 projects better the paint. For me, it works better. It's a personal opinion. Okay, this is my way, and you can see I can do very fine work. I start large, then I reduce the pressure of the needle, and you can see I approximate. I can do very fine, for example, for the camouflage in German planes, without this technique of spaghetti, we say. You can see the difference. Okay, very fine, more large, more fine. Okay. Oh, Manuel, boa tarde, aí. Tudo bem? Está tudo em ordem? Sorry, I'm speaking Portuguese because he is in the chat is my friend from Brazil, my friend Ari, a good friend I have, and I talk very much with him. And We share lots of work. He's a very good friend from Brazil. That's why I'm talking Portuguese. Okay. This is the technique I use. Now I'm going to show you how to clean the airbrush. Very easy. We just take off the amount of paint. Okay. Now we are going to do some, for precaution, put the protection of the nozzle. Okay. Now we are going to clean with a little solution I have here. This is a solution with a 15% diluted distilled water, a 15% of window wash, the blue, because it's very low in the ammoniac percentage, about 5%. It's not agree the the protections of the airbrushing. It's not aggression. And I put some about 10% of alcohol, 19.5%, and some drops of glycerin to fluid better the liquid and break the tension of the components. Okay, this is a formula I put here, but it's not created for me. It's from a friend from the United States, the Gilbert. Gilbert, thank you for your solution. It's helped me a lot. For this is for only for acrylic paints. Okay, basic water base. Thank you, Gilbert. You can see your channel, my friends. See the channel of it's the Red Dragon. My friend Gilbert from the United States of America. It's a very good friend. I saw a lot. He has amazing works in the channel, and he have a video how to create this form, and put I do for me, and it's very good. I'm going to show you. I put it in a vaporizer and give some triggers. You can see. Now I'm going to put some retro. You'll see it take off all the paints. Okay, we just clean very easy, and you almost see is almost clean. Then we take the excess. Now we are going to very rapid take the needle out. You be careful. You just rotate a tip. Always with when you put the needle out, when you don't push, you roll and push nicely. Okay, and this because some paint are in the point and they are creating strain in the trigger. Okay, and it's damage the mechanism. Okay, it's a tip for you guys. Then you put here some in the paper, some the solution, and very easy. You always for back, not to do this fore and back with the needle. You clean always for back to protect the point of needle. Okay, and you can see it's clean with no problem. Very easy. Now you take the excess of paint, put the protection of the nozzle. Very easy, and you can see almost clean with no problem. Now you just put inside the needle, roll. In this case, for the other side, you just roll the needle to just touch. Okay, Now a little bit more of the clean dilution. Make some retro. Okay, now we're going to see it's clean in all about 5 minutes, 6 minutes. You almost clean the brush. Okay, some retro, and you see it's pretty good. You see it's clean. Just clean here the cup. Okay, and now you can see it's about 5 6 minutes. You can do very easy the clean of airbrushing. Just for security, you just see if the protection is clean. No problem, it's clean. If it is not clean, you put some with a cotton button. You just moisture and roll a little bit the two sides. Okay, it's clean, no problem. Put the protection, and you can see clean very fast. You see it's very easy. The tip I'm doing for you guys for cleaning for another paints, for example, lacquer paints, for example the AK real colors, some from the Mr. Color, they are lacquer. Tamiya it's have lacquer testers. The we just in the first clean off airbrush we must do use the same thinner we are using with the paints. Okay, it's very important. For example, these are acrylic colors, Vallejo, IK, MIG, all of that brands, they are water based. You just clean with water, is the same thinner you use for the paint. For example, for enamel paints, we are going to use the thinner more strong. You can use the for clean the white spirit, Travertine. This is more strong, only for clean. Travertine you don't use for to thinner enamel because it's very strong and they can decantate the paint the pigment. Okay, it is very strong. Only for clean. Okay, then you for the other paints for lacquer you can use Astone. This is the important thing is when we are working with different paints we always with when we are going to do the clean of the airbrushing always use the same thinner you are working with the paint. Okay, this is very important. Then in the end you can do this the solution for every paint, but first clean very well with the same thinner. Okay, you then in the end you can use this about the solution I just told you. Yeah, it is have no problem, but you don't think for example you are using the umbrella colors, the enamel or some testers or another paint, the Tamiya, the enamel base is you don't use to clean with this first. Okay, always with the thinner first clean, then in the end you can clean with this solution just to take off and humidity of the airbrushing and have no problem. Okay, okay, Jason, you are going to take off the dogs. Okay, and like I say in the beginning of the video, the most important without these tips and techniques I show you guys the most important is to set up the airbrush, okay? And I'm going to show you again the setup of the airbrushing. I'm putting my compressor here my side. I'm going to change the camera for you guys to see. This is the very important, is this, okay? I'm going to show you here. Sorry for the noise. You are going to see, I'm going to put here the camera, okay? And the very important is always, sorry for the noise because it's approximate. And you take here the brushing here, you have here. And like I say, the technique, you push with your, and you see it's going down the pressure. In this case, we have 50 psi, but you can see when I released, so I'm going to put here two guys. See, it's 25 psi. This is the pressure correct setup for 15 psi, because when I press the trigger, you are going to see it's going down 15 psi. This is the correct setup for 15 psi. For example, for a 20 psi, we must pressure the trigger. I want to show you. Just press, only press. Don't push to the back. Okay, just press. Now you are going to see it's 50. Now you release here the security and turn, make more pressure, about 20 psi. Now it's 20 psi. You just lock and you release. You are going to see is about 30 psi. It's about a difference of 0.05 pressure when we press. Now you see the 30 psi, I press the compressor, is going to 20. Now it's correct. This is the correct pressure to paint in this case. Okay? If I'm going to down, sorry for the noise, just press. If I'm going to 50, I release the pressure, about 15 psi, you see? Now just lock, take my finger from the trigger, and you are going to see it's 25. Now I press 50 psi to paint. This is correct. This is the way to set up correct the airbrush, the compressor pressure for the line. Okay. I'm going to change the camera again. Sorry, because for you guys to see. Hope you like the tips and the techniques. Yes, it's another technique. If you don't have the the gauge, it's about to listen the pressure you're here, and you calculate. But this is the correct to set up the compressor. In this case, I have another compressor, that small ones. It's about 15 psi, and I must dilute it with my highs, with the practice I have. I with that compressor, I can't regulate with some screw, but I have no indicator of pressure like this one. It's different. Hello, Nuno. How are you doing? I'm fine. This is the way I do. Okay, guys. Hope you like the video. I'm going to do another stream with a plane, the BDF I'm working. I'm going to show you another technique I'm going to use. But this is for now in the video. Para que tudo bem, Nuno, aí para Inglaterra. Grande abraço. Obrigado aí por apareceres aí na stream. Eu estive aqui a fazer um vídeo de demonstração de como achar o setup ideal da pressão entre o compressor e o airbrush, o aerógrafo neste caso. Hope you like the video, guys. If you like, make some comments. If this is the way I use for airbrushing, the techniques and the dilutions. Hope you like. Ok. Obrigado, Nuno. Um grande abraço aí pela força. Sempre um prazer te ver também aqui. Grande abraço aqui de Portugal também. Estive aqui a fazer um vídeo com dicas como fazer o setup ideal, devido a haver a diferença mais ou menos de 0,5 de pressão no compressor e no aerógrafo, e eu estive a explicar aqui no vídeo como é que se faz o setup do compressor para ter a pressão ideal na linha, para termos a pressão correta que nós queremos mesmo, porque muitas vezes pomos 20 PSI e não é 20 PSI que está a sair na linha, nós temos que dar quase 30 PSI para ser 20 correto, e nas pressões abaixo igual, não é? Se for 15% vai dar 25% de pressão no compressor e estamos a tirar 15 de linha. Thank you, Mr. Z. Thank you for your support and for passing for the stream. Always a pleasure to see you and to talk with you, sir. And for the other guys, Lee, Andari, grande amigo meu do Brasil também. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to do another stream. I'm going to shut down this one. I'm going to start another one to how to make some where is a panel lines to scribe positive panel lines and to go an effect of deep and shadow. I'm going to show you the technique in another video, okay? I'm going to shut down the stream and turn on again another stream for another video for another technique, okay? Thank you guys for watching. Big thumbs up if you like the video, make some comments, and see you about a few minutes. I'm going to just modify here the bench and create another video, okay? Just about all best for you guys. Big hug from Portugal. Turning off MP.